Any change happening to you, we get frightened. But when we take charge of change, then we have less fear. And that's true whether, we're growing up and leaving home, whether we're getting married or getting divorced. When we're in charge of it, when we're making the decisions, we have less fear. And so one of the things that's very important is get people involved very early. And I would say immediately after that administrator has, and DON, the senior leadership of the facility has made the decision, yeah, let's go ahead with this, then I think very soon after they need to open the door and invite people in. I'd recommend that you set up a steering team. Nice, simple process. You set up a team of, maybe 10 to 15 people. And that steering team should have department heads and definitely the administrator, perhaps a DON, and then it should also have direct caregivers, should have a dishwasher and a housekeeper and residents and a family member, at least one or perhaps two. Now, you've got a very different kind of group there. Now, what do? Well, instead of immediately going, well, what are we going to create? You've got some time because we know change takes a while. So then what you do is you begin to figure out, how do we grow ourselves? And the first task of that team is to grow in its own abilities. What does it have to grow in? Has to learn how to work together as a team, has to learn how to share the leadership. So that really means the administrator and DON have to, instead of having the answer, they need to, wait a minute, maybe there are other answers. I need to listen. So they need to practice listening. Caregivers, they need to practice speaking up. And so you kind of shift the balance of that team, and as they begin to work better together, their next task should really be, how do we get people involved in this vision? And so that opens up another whole arena of work. How do we get all the families involved? How do we get all the staff? How do we get the angry staff? How do we get the upset residents? How do we get the elders with dementia? And they literally begin to figure out what we need to do to just engage and involve people. That's going to take, we're probably into close to the end of the first year by that point.